The Navy's interest in aviation goes back prior to the birth of powered flying machines, before the Wright brothers' famous flight in 1908. Naval leaders from the turn of the 20th century recognized the strategic value of incorporating aircraft into the Navy's inventory. On May 8, 1911, the US Navy officially ordered its first aircraft, the Curtiss A-1 biplane. Since then, May 8th is known as the birthday of naval aviation. To recognize this, I prepared a quick look at naval aviation from its birth through today. The Navy's interest in the use of aircraft began as early as 1898. In 1911, Lieutenant Theodore Ellison was the first naval officer to report for flight training. By the end of that year, the Navy had purchased its first aircraft, the first pilot was trained, and the site of the first aviation camp was selected in Pensacola, Florida. By the end of World War I, naval aviators had flown more than 3 million nautical miles. In the 1920s, aircraft were routinely assigned to battleships and cruisers. At the end of the 1930s, naval expansion was authorized, and pilot training programs were increased. World War II saw the first naval air engagements fought entirely in the air. With advances in technology, naval aviation showed its usefulness by adapting to new combat situations during the Korean War. At the end of the 1950s, an astronaut program was established. In the early 1960s, naval aviators made the first orbital flights. More than half of the astronauts at that time had naval backgrounds. In 1975, the Vietnam War ended, and the Navy was called upon to assist in evacuating Vietnamese refugees during the North Vietnamese invasion of South Vietnam. The 1970s also saw the introduction of the F-14 Tomcat fighter. On April 12, 1981, the first space shuttle launch took place. The shuttle was manned by an all-Navy crew. That decade also saw the F-A-18 Hornet come into service. Today, naval aviation continues to play a leading role in the War on Terror. For the Naval Media Center, I'm Sergeant Phil Grondin. While naval aviation has reached many new heights since 1911, did you know that the Navy had 2 freshwater, not blue water, aircraft carriers in its inventory? USS Wolverine and USS Sable were converted from paddle-wheeler, coal-burning steamers to be used for naval aviators in carrier takeoffs and landings.